My name is Fred Gimunga from Integrity Business Services, and I'm presenting this webinar on behalf of eTraining Pty Limited. Our webinar for today is called Induction. Why? Because this is about managing recruitment, selection, and induction processes. So as you're aware, in our last webinar, we spoke about selection, recruitment, and we ended up where the person was now chosen, the committee selected an individual, they offered him a contract. Now the person is coming to start. So yes, let's see what happens now on the induction process. Induction process is the thing now when they come to work, the first thing is they're going to be told what to expect within this organization and what the organization expects of them. So let's begin and see how this goes. So the first thing is you got to make the pieces fit. That's what induction is all about. You have your big jigsaw puzzle. The organization has its mission and vision. They've gone through the selection process, choosing people with the right skills, uh, or the right experience to try and achieve their goals. Now they have the individual, they're going to try and make this fit. So how does that happen? This now happens through the process called induction. That means uh, the employee is being introduced to the organization, the job role, and fellow colleagues. Now, what are the factors that affect induction? Number one is time. How much time does the organization have, or does in order to give this person induction? In some places, induction is only half a morning. It's enough. In some other organization, depending with the role, the process might take you a week because there could be so many things that needs to know, depending whether it's technical job or depending also on how sensitive the job is. And there's need for external specialists in some of those things, and in some others, personal knowledge and skills and budget. It's dependent also on the budget, on the organizational policy, and it's dependent on the organizational procedure or number of inductees. Yes, so if you're recruited in a group, depending on the number of inductees, they might need training for 3 weeks, for 6 weeks, through that, and also on the location where you're going to be working, when the induction is taking place, is this interstate or so forth. The other thing that happens is the quality and relevance of the program content. So your induction also depends on the quality, inductions on the kit, what the induction kit says, and the training and methods. So if you're hired to be a pilot, obviously the induction process for you to be a pilot differs from airline to airline. It might take days, might take weeks, and like we said, depending on the number of inductees that are being introduced into the organization. So we come to our next slide, which is about developing induction program. How do you do that? You need to consider the following: the available personnel and resources in the organization, duration of the induction period, general specific information, different methods of delivery, induction kit, needs of inductees on the organization, and what are the special needs. The induction personnel. This may consist of a general manager, HR, WHS representative, a department head or team leader. There could be a buddy or mentor, administration staff, could be people from the finance section. If you're in accounting, so the finance section will come and talk about budgets and audits and things that you might need to know. If it's a technical area, you might probably have your technical manager, technical directors coming in there to explain to you the importance of doing certain things, following certain procedures. There could be people from industry bodies that might be present during the induction process. So, like you said, if you're being hired to be a pilot, there could be industry specialists there that might come in to giving their spiel about the job that you're about to do. So, what could be the program content in the induction process? Could be number one, first things about the organization, what the organization does, what is their vision, what is their mission, where they're going, where they what. This gives you a picture of the organization that you have joined and what role you can play, and giving you proper expectations of what that or how the organization rewards people, treats people, the types of policies in there, and the organizational structure, their strategic plan, and the policies that you need to abide by. In companies like Coca-Cola, they'll tell you their history, the different products they have. They might even take you around their factories, introduce you to some of the products that you might not have been aware. And if your job is to do with marketing or sales, part of the induction process could be being introduced to their clients. So the major clients will know that yes, we have this person that has been introduced to us, and because you might be playing a role or meeting them, rather than going on your own and introducing yourself, your general manager could take you around to their key clients, and showing you the ropes. And some part of it could be as well, they could talk about the competition to say, whom are you up against in this job? Who are the people that you need to be aware of? And of course, the HR will come in telling you about your remuneration, your benefits, and WHS, and all those things that you join the company for. So like we said, the induction processes, the induction time limit is based on the jobs that you're doing, based on the organization, based on the location. In some jobs, it could just be 1 day program. In other places, it could be 2, 3 days, or even weeks, depending on your job as well. What do you need to know if you to do operating machinery? So your induction program could include the actual doing of the job, the actual introduction to you to the equipment, to the software, the things that you need to do, and to see whether you can use them being trained on the spot. So those inductions differ from company to company. Other inductions will probably take you straight from induction into training, from training onto the job. Others induction is just verbal, sit in a room, and you go to your desk. So it's all dependent on company policy. And after the induction, then you are told about, how are you evaluated? What are the KPIs? Uh, if it's to do sales or marketing, they'll be telling you they rely probably more on surveys, good customer service, on polls, on observations. That will be customer observations, supplier observations, and they'll be talking to you about 360-degree reviews that are done, so that you are aware to say this is how I'll be evaluated. Uh, at the end of the year, whether it happens on a quarterly basis or 6 monthly. So if you're in sales, your evaluation probably is on a weekly basis to see how much sales you're doing, if your KPIs are on numbers or dollar values. What do you need to know? It begins at the induction. Usually it lasts 12 weeks. Most of those probation period, 3 months, they give you the option that you can walk away within 24 hours, or they can say to you bye. And if nothing happens after 3 months, both of you still like each other, and then you sign on to permanency, which then will tell you if something does go wrong and you need to leave, then you're going to give your notice period and all the things that are to do with the Fair Work Act Australia. And of course, during that probation period, it's it's an opportunity for you to ask questions, to get feedback, to ask your seniors what you need to improve, or what you do not understand, the areas that you think might be a conflict. These things are resolved during that time. So here, our next slide is talking about probation flowchart. What does it entail? Organizational policy, and it tells you about the human resources plan, right? What plans does the human resources have for individuals? That means a written contract that states what the job is all about, the job specifications, and how your KPIs, how you're measured, how you're evaluated, expectations, the key tasks that are expected of you, and whether you agree with those. And it also talks about the regular reviews. When are they done? On a quarterly basis? If you succeed, what happens? Is there any bonuses and remunerations, promotions, and all those things are spelled out within the letter of offer. So you got a letter of offer, you've got your 3 year promotion, and now you're on the job. And then, say, congratulations, you've made the 3 months, you're now a permanent employee, and you're on the job. obviously, in our next discussion on our next webinar, we will talk more about how you're being evaluated now that you're on the job. How do you get your feedback, or how do you get feedback? How do you get along with some of your teammates and facilitation and things like that? So thanks very much for listening to this webinar as we went through the selection and induction process. And we hope you've enjoyed it and you'll be able to refer to material that we have posted online, do your self-paced activities, give us feedback. Thank you for now and hope to chat to you in the next coming webinars.